Studies show the average Australian eats around 111 kilograms of beef per year. This means we Australians eat the third most beef in the world, aside from the United States, who consume 120 kilograms, and Kuwait, who consume 119 kilograms per year. Whereas the global average consumption of beef per person per year is around just 42 kilograms. Basically, each person in Australia, Kuwait and the US consume nearly 3 times the amount of beef than any other person on average in the world. Beef is a popular meat source from cattle. You may eat it in the form of steak, sausages, mince, etc. But this amount of beef takes its toll on the environment and causes numerous problems. These problems come in the form of water usage. The water necessary for meat breeding comes to about 190 gallons per animal per day. Land damage. The total cattle population for the world is approximately 1.3 billion, occupying 24% of the land of the planet. Energy usage and pollution. A gallon of gasoline is required to produce a pound of grain-fed beef. And agricultural consumption. More than 1/3 of the world's grain harvest is used to feed livestock. Water usage. Producing beef takes a significant amount of water. For every 300 grams of beef, 4,500 litres of water are needed to produce it. It's far from sustainable. During drought, stock require more water as they are forced to select more fibrous and less digestible feed. This extra water is used to maintain the movement of the coarse feed in the gut. As the drought worsens and stock become weaker, marginal waters may become unsuitable as the animal's tolerance of the salt decreases, forcing farmers to switch to another water source. Land damage. Cattle are one of the largest farm animals, therefore they require a lot of land. The need for large areas of land creates problems. They are such a big animal and they can do a lot of damage to the land when they occupy it. The soil will compact, which makes it harder for vegetation to break through the soil. This also stops the ground from draining water properly, which can make large puddles in the paddocks and then makes it unsuitable for the animals to graze. Cattle need a large amount of land to graze. They have the top 15 largest livestock farms in Australia, but the largest cattle farm in the world is slightly bigger than Israel. For every pound of beef produced, around 5 pounds of irreplaceable soil will be destroyed. The need for such a large amount of land means they need to clear vegetation. In parts of South America, they are taking large amounts of land from rainforests, which will have a massive impact on the native wildlife. Energy usage and pollution. A lesser-known aspect of cattle farming's effect on the environment is the pollution and energy usage that comes with it. Think about the cattle stations that lie way out in the outback of Australia. The cattle need to be transported from those rural farms to the nearest factories and slaughterhouses, which are often many kilometres away. There's an enormous amount of fuel that goes into this transportation, which is released into the atmosphere as air pollution. Another lesser-known contributor to pollution and climate change is the cow's waste. Cattle produce a high amount of methane gas. 51% of global greenhouse gas emissions are produced by animal agriculture. On average, a cow releases between 70 to 100 kilograms of fumes per year. That is approximately 200 kilograms of carbon dioxide, which is the equivalent of burning 1,000 litres of petrol. 1,000 litres of petrol could get you 10,000 kilometres in the car. Agricultural consumption. More than 1/3 of the world's grain harvest is used to feed livestock such as cattle. The world's cattle consume enough food to feed 8.7 billion people a year, which is more than the human population. Yet more than 1 billion people in the world are starving. Also, cattle ranchers contribute to 80% of deforestation of the Amazon rainforest. Solutions. Water usage solution. It's vital to have cattle drinking the same amount of water as they usually do, but if farmers can find a better way to give their cattle water, such as recycled water, this may not be much of a problem. Land damage solution. Farmers should be more aware of what will happen if you leave a large amount of cattle in one area for a long amount of time. They should also make sure that they are not overpopulating the current space that the cattle occupy. And if they do wreck the top of the soil, they should try and relocate the cattle so the paddock will have time to regenerate vegetation. Energy usage and pollution solution. Industries should sell their produce to local butchers and supermarkets to save the transportation distance. This would result in less car fuel emissions let out into the air. The beef industry should also invest in a biogas system, a system that extracts methane gas from animal waste. Methane is particularly found in different vegetables, such as Brussels sprouts. This reduces the amount of fumes being released into the atmosphere, but it would benefit the industry by enabling them to sell the gas, increasing their profit. Agricultural consumption solution. There should be a food invented for cows or other livestock that serves as a food that fills them more as well as gives them energy, rather than Milo, which just gives them energy but does not fill them as much, making them want to eat more. Therefore being more efficient for cows and providing more food for mankind. In conclusion, the ways industries are producing beef are not sustainable in terms of its effect on water, energy, land, agriculture and the atmosphere. Various solutions are possible, such as creating new efficient foods to prevent these problems, as well as creating more energy and water-saving methods to use when grazing cattle. We believe the beef industry takes these problems and solutions seriously. If they do, then the world will truly be a better place.